Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we're going to do the Cognito follow along and set up a login screen. So I'm going to go to Cognito. Cognito, there we go. And we're going to be presented with two options, user pools, identity pools. Identity pools is not what we want. We want user pools so that people can log in and authenticate. Identity pools is when you want to give access to existing resources on AWS. So we'll go to user pools here. I'm going to create a new user pool. I'm going to call it Study Sync, since that's kind of the project we've been working with in this developer associate. I'm going to go to review defaults. All these defaults are fine. You can see you can set MFA and all the stuff. You can change any of this if you want. I'm going to create this pool, and now the pool has been created. I'm going to need a app client. I'm going to hit Add App Client. We're going to name this Study Sync. We're going to leave all of this defaulted here. I'm going to go ahead and create this app client. Now the next thing I can do is configure this app client. So we'll go to app client settings. We're going to enable user pools. I'm going to put an example URL here for our callback. This is what would happen after somebody logged in successfully, and this is where they would go if they logged out. We want authorized code grants and implicit grants. Might as well take all of the scopes if possible, because why not? And we will go ahead and save these here. In order to use the host UI, this is like a UI that AWS gives you by default. Of course, you could make your own, which is a lot of work, but to use this host UI, which is what we'll be doing here, we need to set a domain name. I'm going to call it Study Sync. We'll check for availability. It's available. You might have to change it based on your case. We'll hit save. And then to view our hosted domain or our hosted login screen, we're going to go back to app client settings, go to the bottom here, hit launch UI here. I'm just going to do a hard refresh here because it's giving us some trouble. So let me just go back to the domain here. Yeah, it should be here. It looks like we can also customize it, which is kind of nice. But this should work now. So let me just see here. Maybe just needed some time. There you go. So I was just way too fast. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just sign up. And the goal here is that if we sign up successfully, we should be able to be directed to the that URL that we provided. So I'm going to need a temporary email. I'm going to use 10-minute mail. Minute mail here. We'll go here, and oh, well, it just changed the whole UI. I guess they have a new one. Oh, it's beta. Look at that. I'm an early user. If you never use this platform, it's for getting temporary emails very quickly. And we'll go back here. I will paste this in here, and then I'll make the password testing 123 exclamation mark sign up. And now we have a verification code. If I go back here, oh, there it is. There's our code. We'll copy it, confirms it, and it redirected us. So that means that we successfully logged in. If we go over to our users, we should be able to see this user now. If I refresh, are they there? There I am. There's Andrew Brown. So, you know, that's all there is to setting it up. Clearly, there's a lot more work involved, but for the developer associate, that's all you need to be comfortable with. I just want to make sure that you got some hands-on with Cognito. Generally, if you use AWS Amplify, it does a lot of the work for you for setting it up and integrating with your application. Integrating Cognito for your web apps without Amplify is extremely painful, but it's worth it because it's so inexpensive. The only thing that is unfortunate about Cognito user pools is there's a limitation in terms of identity providers. So we have Facebook, Google, Amazon, but we don't have LinkedIn. And apparently you can do Twitter, I think, with OpenID Connect. But for me, like, LinkedIn's a deal breaker. And it's not AWS's fault. AWS follows like some kind of security standard. And for whatever reason, LinkedIn does not conform to that. And so that's why it's not on the list here. There is a way to get LinkedIn to work, but it's a lot of effort. And so that's why we see a lot of people using Auth0 because it just does everything. But that one's really expensive. There's a lot of things you can do in here. You know, there's a lot of options, and I recommend that you poke around, but we're done for this case, and I want you to go ahead and delete this pool. Delete this pool, we have to first delete the domain name because we are borrowing that from AWS. And once that's deleted, we can go to General Settings, hit Delete, type in Delete, and there we go, our pool is gone. So that's it. See you later.